March 29th. Here we go. I woke up this morning with an idea to contact my 3 lawyer fraternity friends and tell them the good news about the police finally investigating into the crimes of the past. It's a lot to unpack, as Officer Lutz put it, but I imagine most libel and slander cases are. Regardless, Patty will be in a lot of trouble, and she better open up her mouth now. Otherwise, it will look like she made all of it up. The same goes for Bill, as it relates to Ryan DeLaha. Regardless, the police are responsible for not having addressed the crimes within the statute of limitations. That is why I need a lawyer now. I hope I can count on at least one of them for a referral to hold the police accountable. And none of what I'm suing for has anything to do with electronic harassment. Everyone has not helped because of it, and that is discrimination. One thing that should make the most difference in the world is Patty learning all the things that have been done to me by other neighbors. She was never meant to learn any of it, but she'll learn all of it. That should make a difference and mean she will cooperate with the authorities now that they are on my side. Officer Lutz even said a number of laws have been broken. He also said he will address any and all of my concerns. Quote, "He is my angel on earth, who will begin to untangle the massive web of hate my captors wove all over $100 fine, and something I was doing in the privacy of my own home." Switching gears. Since the beginning of the second decade of the second millennium, staying alive has been the only news people have heard. The unfortunate part of that reality is that the recommendations from the WHO are not consistent with the domestic agenda of the United States. The CDC lazily agrees with whatever the WHO says, and that is a problem. The WHO has repeatedly announced that we have an overpopulated Earth. Therefore, its COVID recommendations are aimed at reducing the global population, not keeping it healthy and alive. The United States government has chosen to abuse and violate freedom of the press by implementing medical misinformation on anything against what the experts' recommendations are. Further making matters worse, social media companies are testing the government's AI filter for posts and videos, essentially silencing, through censorship, any and all opinion contrary to the WHO and CDC narrative. The US government wants a smaller population so it can control the people. So it has no issue with the WHO's recommendations, which are wrong, and aimed at China and India and their rapid industrialization, which uses more fossil fuels. The US does not have an overpopulation problem, but the government is taking full advantage of the pandemic and reducing the population by feeding the people with propaganda containing dangerous activity regarding how to handle this pandemic. In the end, the CDC will look completely incompetent by agreeing with WHO guidelines. It will be another planned failure of the executive branch, further weakening our government, threatening its stability, and risking a coup takeover by the military. The government must stop fucking everything they do up. We should break away from the rest of the world's agenda and focus on our own nation and what is in the best interest of the people. Our freedom and democratic form of government are fully dependent on honesty and transparency. The US COVID numbers, compared to the world's, are the result of inside censorship and people making wrong choices as a result of those recommendations. I feel very strongly that we are on the wrong path. And if something is not done soon, the government is going to look even more incompetent than it already does, which is pretty incompetent. I think most high school students could run the country better than the people currently running it now, because they have an agenda of maintaining control. I think my government has enough control of things right now. I don't think they need more. What are they going to do with more control? We're going to look more like China and Russia. And that's a bad thing for our nation that is supposed to be free and with rights and liberties that ensure freedom, like freedom of the press and freedom of speech. Have a good afternoon, everybody, and catch up with you later.